for us, now she fiending. Running, I know we up to the moon. Panic on me and reside. If he come from my chin and we swap. Shawty can't look at my eyes. BBS is I shine in the dark. I'm on my gentleman-ish. I'm putting off for my city. Don't need friends, my family.
What's poppin', man? Spark the fuck, man. Let's talk about it, Black Ink. You know what we on. You know what's poppin', man. Spark.
What's up? Let's talk about it, Black Ink.
This is Rashad from Earn Your Leisure. Big shout out to Let's Talk About It, Black Ink.
Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About It, a podcast created to share conversations, healthy conversations between men and women to impact, empower, uplift, educate our culture and community. I'm your host, Sage, and returning with us again this week, we got Kevin versus Floyd. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Good. And Eve Monroe will be joining us shortly. Before we get started, we'd like to give a shout out
here.
to our... Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I made it. Yay.
Yay. Great. Before we dive in today, we're going to go ahead and give a shout out to our co-host, Rich Mo, Black Ink Radio, running late today. Low Key Nadia, Low Key Communications. Her flight will be landing soon. Safe travels, Nadia.
Oh, she's still in Miami, right?
Yeah. And also Keisha Solomon from KS Consulting. How are you, Auntie? Ooh.
I am great. I just had a very busy week. I got a guest visiting my sisters here from Fort Myers, Mama Tony. And, and I kicked off my go live today. So, which is why I was tardy, because I had a, conference call that we're going to go over. So.
Oh, well, it looks beautiful where you at.
I'm in Philly.
Yeah, but the weather looks beautiful. I ain't mean to surround.
Yeah, it's nice.
No, I'm joking. The weather looks good.
Just long.
How was your week, Kev?
Yeah, it's nice out.
My week was good. No complaints. Just tiring. Baby life. And my baby's actually a month today.
Yes,
so
she
shout
is.
out to my baby. She's
Shout
a
out
whole
to
month.
Hey.
I can't believe she's been on this earth for a whole month now.
A whole month.
That's damn, time flies.
Tell me, what has she learned?
Yeah, it does.
What has she learned? I don't know. I can say what I learned. I can tell you exactly what I learned. I'm not sure if I taught her anything yet, but she has been teaching me a whole lot.
And you have been teaching her, because I'm sure that she knows if she make a sound, what parent is coming to get her.
Actually, no, she has learned. Like she knows that her mother is her food. Mm-hmm. Like she see her mother, and she know that's food time.
Wow.
So she does know that, and she know me. Like last night, we was in the bed and her mother was holding her, and she just kept staring. I'm like, give my baby like she want me, and she just sat there and laid on my chest.
How can you tell that she knows her mother is the food?
Because I realized that today she was sitting there in her chair just chilling, and then Ashley got up and started to walk over towards her, just in her direction, not going towards her. And she's looking at her, and babies, when they first born, they can't see no more than 12 inches away from their eyes. Mm-hmm. So as she gets older, her vision gets longer. So she's seen this Ashley, and she instantly start fussing. Like she know, that's mommy, I want food. So she just instantly start fussing. And I'm like, you was just cooling with your dad, and now, so once you see your mom, you know what it is.
It's just that presence of a woman.
Yeah, whatever.
We have that impact.
She's a daddy's girl. Trust and believe. She's a daddy's girl, so.
And what have you learned?
That I know nothing. I'm definitely, especially today. I thought, I'm the oldest of 5, so I didn't change plenty of diapers, wash babies. So I'm prepared. This is gonna be easy. And today I had one of those episodes where she just poo everywhere. And I'm holding her, and I'm like, why is her onesie wet? I'm like she's crying, but she ate already, and Ashley wasn't home. So I'm like, maybe she's just tired. So I'm trying to put her to sleep. I'm like, she wet, but she falling asleep. But so I don't want to change it now because I'll wake her up. So I change it later. But then she kept crying like, so she fighting her sleep. So I happened to just look down and my hand is brown. I'm like, what the hell? And
That's what you get for not changing.
listen, and it was just, and then I didn't know, I'm a boy. I know how to clean my stuff. She got all these crevices that I gotta look out for. So every time I watch one spot, I'm like, damn, it's more in this spot. She got all these folds of fat. Like she got poop in her belly button. And I'm like, up her back. And I didn't realize, I would say this to all fathers, know where your baby stuff is. Because I realized how much I rely on her mother. Because I didn't know what nothing was. So I'm trying to get the wipes. I got her in the tub. I'm running back and forth, checking her, trying to find where her towel is, where her soap is, where her rag is. I didn't know where nothing was at. I had to call her mother and ask her, where's everything? So now I know where everything's at, and I'm making it my job to know where all her things are at. So when her mother's not there and things like this happen, I can have it under control. I mean, I handled it like a G. I took care of business. I gave my baby a bath. This is my first time bathing her.
Oh, nice.
So I gave her a bath. It was a nice little...
So I take it her umbilical cord fell off.
Yeah. So it was a nice little intimate moment for us. But every time I kept thinking she was clean, I'd pick her up, and I saw something else. Yeah. Just so many... I don't know how it got everywhere. And, she's just so little, so I got to spread everything. I feel like I was violating my baby. But I had to do.
That's a lot. I don't miss those days.
Yeah, she did that. Then she threw up on me. So I don't know. I'm like, damn, do you even love your father? Cause first that, then you throw up on me. So we got to it. We got through it. And her mother came home and just laughed it up. Like it was the funniest thing in the world.
Well, you know why we laugh? Because sometimes you guys just think it's so easy.
I mean, it wasn't hard, and it would have been a whole lot easy if I knew where everything was. Me not knowing where everything was is what made it hectic.
Well, no, not that part. It's just that some of our experiences, when it's time for the baby to get changed, the men just usually pass the baby off.
I pass it in a heartbeat.
Just pass the baby off. They're like, oh, I'll do it. It's never volunteering. Like,
No, I know. I do. The thing is, and this for Ashley, she wished it on me first of all, because that's when I have the baby. I do change her, but just so happen whenever I have her, she only pees, so I don't have to deal with that. I said, you don't have to deal with the poop and it's everywhere. Watch when I can't wait till it happen in you, and lo and behold, all over me. It happened. So
shout out to Kalia. You go, Kalia. Teach them all of the lessons.
Shout out to my baby, one month big self. So
yes, it made me think of a video I seen a while ago, a few years ago, of a guy who had to get his kids up for school and take them out. He said it was so bad he walked out the house without his shoes. He was like, I would never doubt my wife again. He said, I'll be in the car wondering why she's so low and taking all day. He was like, I had to change the other one. By the time I got her done, the other baby undressed and jumped back in the tub. I'm like, it's so odd.
Listen, just shout out to the mothers who can make it look easy.
Thank you. So we're going to start this evening off because we are still in the Women's Month. It's March. So we're going to give a few shout outs to some women. And women, I have a few personally that I would shout out and pertaining just watching them over the years, their growth and the things they have done in the world that or added to the world that I think is beneficial. Y'all can just tag right on along before we go deep. Who want to start?
For a shout out a woman?
A woman.
I'll shout out the mother of my child.
Oh, nice.
I'll shout out Miss, Ashley Nicole Hussey. I shout her out. Listen, she a champ. I gotta give it to her. She's a champ. She's an amazing mother. I already knew that, but just watching her doing it personally, it was just like I see her dead asleep and that baby cry. She straight up, breast out, ready to give it to her, falling asleep while she breastfeeding her. And I feel bad because I can't help. I don't have no milk, but listen, man, she a warrior. So shout out to her.
Nice. What about you, Auntie?
So I'm going to be very generic and vague because I don't want to hurt people's feelings.
Okay.
I'm going to give a shout out to all the moms, really, just
Oh.
all the good moms. It's not an easy thing. It's not an easy job.
Shout out good moms. Shout out good
Because
moms.
believe it or not, you're the first introduction to that child's spirit. So
I agree.
it's important. Mm-hmm.
I agree. Well,
Can I shout out one
I
person?
have, yeah.
Oh, I had to, and I want to take a moment to shout out my mom. I'm gonna shout out my mom.
Don't think of your mom now.
I mean,
No, I'm
I've been
joking.
through. I'm gonna shout out my mom.
That's why I didn't.
I mean, I'm gonna shout her out just for being authentically her.
Oh, that's a good shout out.
And I respect and I appreciate all that entails.
That's a lot.
Yes, it is. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. But I can say it's predominantly beautiful. So,
Oh, nice.
so I'll shout out my mother.
Nobody's.
Right bars. Right? Well, I would shout out first and foremost. I have a few too. I would shout out first and foremost. For first, I would do. I guess I'm gonna stick the Auntie Eve mood. With my mother and my grandmother and her mother and the list of my ancestors, because I wouldn't be able to do any of that. So for those women, I would definitely shout them out. The next woman after that, of course, would be myself. For my continuous strive to learn and do better and be better, and to work hard on myself, to correct myself, to unlearn and relearn. I'll give myself a pat on the back for that. I usually give myself pats.
As you should.
Yes, and then all of my sisters and my cousins and my aunties and Auntie Eve over there, and all the other women, and then the women in my community, in the world. I have to give a shout out to, like the Oprahs and I think Sierra. Who else? Growth it. I think I watch.
Ayana.
Ayanla, I love her. Gabrielle Union. You know what? Jada Pickett Smith. Her growth has been not just uplifting, motivating, inspiring. Her growth has been beautiful to watch. Who else do we have? There's a long list on there. Alicia Keys, her growth. Who else? Who else has impacted us? Women. I know Alicia has impacted us with being authentic when she came out and said she wasn't wearing any makeup anymore, and how she felt like we got comfortable with covering up our beauty and our natural ability to look beauty. Well, yeah, that made me think of I ain't got nothing on my face today, but we don't have time all the time. But her just sticking to that and showing up organically in her skin and learning to be comfortable in her skin after she depended on a certain kind of beauty. You know what I mean? And when you show up that way, people look for a certain kind of beauty. So shout out to her with learning how to love herself. Who else? Beyonce. How could I forget about B? Shout out to B. Ensilage. Beautiful. Janelle Monáe. Who else is impactful women?
Viola Davis. I love
Viola
her.
Davis.
I just think
love
she's
her.
so powerful and just so. I just love Viola Davis. I can't even tell you why. I just think she empowers everything that is not only just a black woman, just a woman. Like I just think she's powerful and does it so elegantly. So shout out Viola Davis.
Yeah. Cicely Tyson.
Yes.
She just recently passed, right?
She just passed, yeah.
At 90 years old.
90-something years old, yeah.
And I was watching Roots, and I didn't even realize she was in Roots.
She was in...
I didn't realize that.
She
Like,
is roots.
damn.
So she is roots.
Yeah.
Right. So, shout out Miss Tyson.
Yeah. Who else? Who else we got, Auntie? Who else was impactful? Of women.
There's so many.
There's so many.
So many.
Tahaji. Tahaji has gave good
Yes.
advice. She has really motivated us, especially when she did her speech, saying how majority of the people were letting her know that she wasn't going to make it. She already had a child. She was too old. She started her career too late. She went to Hollywood and proved them all wrong. So shout out to Tahaji.
Angela
for
Bassett.
motivating us who think that we're so old. Angela Bassett.
That's what I was going to say next. One of my
Mhm.
first loves.
Angela
I love
Bassett.
Angela Bassett,
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I snuck and watched how Stella got her groove back when I was young. Been in love ever since. I was trying to help her find her groove. Shout out, she still look good. Shout out Miss Bassett.
She's a fool.
I'm just
It
saying.
was not Tay Diggs.
Listen, I was trying to be her Tay Diggs.
Right?
He said the same thing when he watched Selena.
And Players Club with Lisa Ray.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Lisa Ray. Because I watched her a couple episodes on the Yana, her actually put some effort in to trying to heal and actually grow. So shout out to all
Yeah, I
the
seen
women.
that episode. That was dope.
Wasn't it dope?
But her
And
and her
she
daughter,
went-
her mother.
yeah.
It
And
was
she went back by
powerful.
herself, though.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
After that, she went back
Oh, wow.
and let her Yana
I just
do
thought the
some
one with her mother and her daughter,
Mm-hmm.
it was just so powerful. Like to really see.
Yeah.
I don't feel like we talk about that a lot, about how like mothers and daughters can almost compete with each
Rihanna.
other.
Shout Rihanna out. I seen her growth. Rihanna, yeah. But I think out of all of those, Ayanla, that daggone Jada Pinkett Smith, and of course Beyonce, boy, they will motivate you. Of course, Beyonce is through music. But other than that, that motivation is good. So thank
But
you,
we're gonna
ladies,
do
for
music.
that. Which ties us
about
in
music.
segue, because I had a question. If you had to sum up your life in the one song, what would that song be?
Ooh.
Right? You know?
Not off the top of the head, I have to think. Not off the top of the head, no.
What song would that be?
I feel like there's so many that resonates with me. So to think of one,
One in the present. Let's deal with the present moment, though. And right now, maybe, or what's going on in your life right now, or how you feel right now. If it had to be one song that could express those feelings that you can identify with.
right now in this moment,
Yeah, like in your present life.
So Amazing by Luther Vandross.
Oh.
That's because my baby, my daughter, that's my baby. She's so amazing. It's my baby.
No. It was about you. So amazing to be loved.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause,
yeah.
that's my baby. You know, right now, you know,
You flying high.
I mean, I'm on a high of my daughter love. That's my baby. I can't. Oh, like I had a crappy day the other day. Came home from work, seeing her face, everything went away. So like, I mean,
Oh.
she does nothing, but yet she does everything. So I don't really. I mean, I can't think of a song for my total
You
life.
got one, Auntie?
There's so many. I'm gonna need a second.
She looking it
Okay,
up.
we can come back to it. I know that's how I feel because I have so many too.
I have to go on my playlist because I don't, and get back to you on that because I'm not sure. It's like I know there's one, I just don't know which one. Like I can't even think of it.
Okay, so let's go to another question.
That was a good one though.
That was a great question.
Give me a pain that you would like to heal that you can identify with.
Pain that I would like to heal that I can identify with. What do you mean? Clarify real quick.
A pain
Yeah, that I
Something
like
that
to
you-
hear.
that you would like to heal, fix, whatever you want to call it, that you can identify. You identify a hurt, a pain, something that you need to
Okay.
fix.
There's multiple, but the quickest first one that came to my head when you said what you said, I can't help wonder, like, though I made peace with, my father not being there, I can't help but have that thought in my head of wondering, would I be better if he was?
In your life, you mean?
Yeah, because I have, like, there's a couple dudes at my job or that I meet in everyday life, some young black men, probably 21, 22, and, they have their fathers in their life, which is beautiful. And I see where they at that age. And I be like, damn, if I had mine, could I have been at that when I was that age? Could I have been further along than I am now? Cause I talk to them, they all like, well, my father taught me this, my father told me that. And I'm like, damn, like, what if I had mine? Could I have been a catapult for me? So, they get everybody,
Figures can come.
Yeah, so I don't harp on it too much because everybody's journey differently, and I could turn out worse if I had my father. I never know, but it's just a thought.
That part.
Is that a thought or a pain?
I think it's both.
So it pains you to not know?
Yeah, it pains me to not know. It pains me because, of course, in our head,
it bothers you, but is it a pain?
It's a pain because, of course, in our head, we always paint the prettiest picture. So in my head, it's like, if I'm so decent and smart like everybody say I am, and that's what now I have having a present father. Because all I did growing up was pick the minds of older men I came across to at my job and learn from their lessons they taught me. So if I came this far with that, it's like, damn, could I even been father with my father in my life? So it's a pain because every time I see it or talk to somebody, like I said, I'm happy because I'm like, I knew it. I knew like this whole most black fathers aren't there stigma wasn't true. But at the same token, I'm jealous because it was true for me. So, I try not to let it, dampen my soul. But I have my battles with it for a couple minutes or then I get over it. But
so how do you think you can move past that though? How do you think you can use that to help you push forward to get over that?
Well, I don't think,
because he can't come back.
But personally, I don't think. I don't know. This may sound a little crude, but for me, I don't think there's some pain you can get over. It's just some pain you have to live with. And I feel like for me, when it comes to that, I love my father, and he did raise me. He raised me the way he knew how, and I appreciate everything. And though now that I'm a man, I can understand how you feel. And now that I'm a father, I even understand even more how you feel. It makes it bearable now. Makes it so a lot more bearable. So now instead of it feeling like a stab wound, it feels like a splinter. But splinters still hurt sometimes, So, that's the best way I can explain it.
I think that once you make a decision to follow through whatever you want to do, that pain would dissolve. Because I believe when happiness surface and you end up being happiness and feeling complete, you wouldn't feel like that would have been farther if he was there, if he wasn't there. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you. I thought about that.
I think once happiness happens for you and you make peace with that, then you probably would still have, it will bother you in terms of, I wish I can share this moment with this individual if things were differently, but it wouldn't be a severe pain there.
No, it's possible. I can believe that. I've thought to myself that maybe once I get where I'm trying to go, I'll stop thinking that way. But I don't know. I'm such a
because here's the
super
thing.
thinker. I don't know.
In reality, the things that shape up and that shapes us and make us of, as far as in the tools that we're supposed to have to be healthy human beings, of course we'll be a lot farther. So when we don't have those things that interfere with our growth, that's normal. You know what I mean? So that's common. You don't even need to wonder that. That's just what it is. That's just like it could be worse, as Auntie Eve said, if he was harboring on the things that he didn't have and he caused more harm in your life than good.
That's what I said. I thought it could have been worse. It's possible.
Yeah, it could have been.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about a healthy family. You know what I mean? That's something different. If we all had healthy parents that gave us healthy tools, then of course we'll be healthy. That's just, but unfortunately.
I mean, like I said, what you said, maybe at that point, it will heal the pain. I won't say it won't, but just that reminder sometimes of like.
Yeah, because I think the way that we look at pain, the way we perceive it is differently, but I truly believe that I don't think that it would have nothing in terms to do with where you want to be. The only person can stop that is you.
Most definitely.
At this point,
to understand that.
You're the only person that can interfere with that as of now. Because if you're not going to agree with his whole belief system, him as a parent, you wouldn't believe everything that he said. Nobody does.
Right.
All of us with all of our parents, we take what we want to take from it, apply it to our lives, and move forward. So it seems like we only tend to look at our parents the other way when we not where we feel as though we need to be.
No, like I said, it could have been either way, but that's just a pain that still resonates with me. Yeah. Even still me wishing he was here just so he can experience his granddaughter.
Yeah.
Because I know, knowing him, he would have tried to make up everything he wasn't as a father, as a grandfather. And he'd have been the best grandfather ever. I already know that, so. But, yeah.
Auntie Eve, what about you?
So can we go back to the song?
I said she's still looking up songs. The whole time she had her head down looking up songs.
I did.
You just know the
Tell my
song.
secrets. So no, the song, I did find the song. So I just couldn't remember the artist. And I don't know how I could forget her because I like her. But Andra Day, Rise Up. So that's the song that
what is it?
That's helping me out these days. Rise
Andra
Up.
Day, Vazo.
Okay, Rise Up.
I have no song.
My voice is hoarse, so I'm not even going to attempt to sing it.
I got you.
Got to look it up. Okay.
And what's the pain?
I wanted to. So the pain, the pain of disappointment, like consistent disappointment.
Ooh.
Just consistent. I wish I could get over it. It's not like when I think I got over it, and then I find something new that, really hurts my heart because I never would imagine that person would be that, And I wish I could get over that because I find that I have to be very intentional with my words because I have zero patience.
I'm with you.
Because it's almost like I know you're going to disappoint me. So why even go through the process? Let's just go straight to the disappointment, save all the time.
Wow. So then,
in
terms of that, we would have to. I'm with you. What
Breaking news. Breaking news.
I actually like that shirt a lot.
Wow.
So you didn't answer neither one of the questions. You didn't answer the song or not this one.
Oh, a song that will resonate with me right now that, my head is a whole playlist. But I guess right now it would have to be Go Get Your Blessings from Mary Mary. That one. Going to get my blessings.
Yeah.
So I'm focused on now. Yeah.
What about a pain?
A pain. Sheesh.
We only got time for one.
Right? I think I have to be like a pain that I would like to overcome. I'm gonna act like Keish this week, and I'm gonna piggyback off of Auntie Eve. I think it would be that disappointment.
The disappointments, yeah.
But it's not from. I think it's it's disappointment. I can't even sugarcoat it. It's disappointment.
Yeah.
Disappointment. Yeah.
And I'm not saying like people make mistakes and they're human. I'm not talking about those kind of disappointments. I mean,
or
that's,
did I do that? Yeah. That's the one that's going to surface today. Disappointment.
Yeah.
And I see what disappointment teaches me is that I have to do more work on myself to detach from that emotion.
That part.
You know what I mean? So it helps me look at, my God complex, that I'm not in control of those things that I think shouldn't disappoint me. You know what I mean? So that's what I get from it, because it will. I learned to let it not frustrate me the way it used to frustrate me, because I understand that frustration is an emotion that comes from the loss of control. I can't control the outcome of this situation, so it frustrates me.
So it's funny that you would say that, because the control part comes from, it's tied to that disappointment. It's like, you might say you're going to do it. I got you. And I'm not going to let it go because I don't trust that you got it. I really don't believe that you're going to do that.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
and it's just,
What are you cheating on?
I pulled the IE, even looked up a
Because
song.
he on
I
his phone
I had
for a
to
long
find
period
a
of
song
time.
because I'm like, I couldn't think. I found the song now. I had to go to my playlist.
Not your place, go in your head.
But no, I know 1,000, but I think I couldn't. And I knew as soon as I scored in my place, as soon as I see it, it would come to me.
But you said Luther Vandross already.
Yeah, but that's for like present. But for me, far as my life, it would be, you're not gonna know who it is. Neither one of y'all probably are, but it's called Dark Conversations by Rod Wave. And I could just give you the first verse. He said, having conversations in the dark is just me, myself, and my heart. My heart said, under any circumstances or for any reason, lay down your guard again and I'ma stop beating. Please, friend, I can't take it no more. So, 4 in the morning while they sleeping, I'm wide awake.
We don't need the verse.
That's it. That's all I'm giving you. But it's just, it's just a real deep song.
Dark Conversation by Rod Wave.
And
I don't think I heard that one.
It really resonates with me.
Well, Auntie Eve said, so I'm going to have to look that one up too.
When you look it up, realize, I've heard this song before. As soon as you look it up.
Shout out Rod Wave.
So let me ask another question.
Yeah, right?
Give me one blockage or stagnation, apprehensiveness that you have towards love.
That's easy.
Go ahead.
Trust issues. Trust issues. Trust issues.
Trust.
I know my worth. And I just don't trust that you're going to do right by this queen. Trust issues.
Trust. What about you?
Expectations.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, expectation. Having I think the scariest part for me with love is expectation. Expecting people to treat you how you want to be treated, automatically know how you want to treat it, or most importantly for me is to treat you the way you would treat them. So
that part. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
That you expect people to treat you the way you treat them.
Yeah, that was my view of the world, my misperception. Mine would have been, I had two, but mine would have been, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but time. Don't waste my time. So it's kind of like the fear of loss. One of those things that I can't depict the outcome of when things are going to change. That part.
That part.
Complex.
Can you guys still hear me? Because you guys froze. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I like this question. What's the best piece of advice you ever heard?
I heard
Are you silly?
I've heard so much great advice in my life from and I thank God for this because kind of piggyback a little bit, not having my father, I was able to meet a lot of older men who willingly took me under their wing and allowed me to ask them the millions of questions I asked them, and they answered them all. But the first one that came to my mind, and I gotta shout out my man, Mr. Keith. Oh man, he used to always say he ain't the average 60-year-old man. He'll get down with the youngest of them. That was my guy. You actually met Mr. Keith, but he always told me that his mama always told him, "Why stress the things you cannot control? You'll live a long life not doing that." And he just knew, just watching how it was and us having so many debates. He like, Kevin, you have a control, probably want to control everything, and for good reason, but you can't. Why stress yourself? So that's one of my main models now, that not to stress the things I can't control. So I can live a long life. You know.
Okay.
Control the things you can and the wisdom to know the difference.
Yes, ma'am. Shout out Mr. Keith.
What's your best piece of advice, honey?
Don't take everything personal.
Mm-hmm.
Another one of my
Sometimes
models.
it's not even about you. Yeah.
It's
Sometimes it's
not
not even
even.
about you. Sometimes they fussing, might be having a bad day. This is not even mine. But you want to dump it here, you can put it here. I'm not going to take it, but you can park it here.
Another one of my
But it's
models, definitely.
Yeah.
I think my best piece of advice that my best piece of advice that I have, I don't think it came from a person. Maybe it came out of a book, which is a person, but in a book. And I think that was to push past your fears,
Yes.
to challenge your fears and push past your fears. So far.
You mean
it
push
has
push
been
past your trust issues?
pretty much, right? Right? Because I never fear much. So that may be true. And the opposite of that was the worst piece of advice that you ever got.
The worst piece of advice?
The worst piece of advice.
I heard a lot of that too.
Man.
I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. The worst piece of advice I got, and I'm going to say as a man, because this is a man advice that was given to me by some other misguided man that he
God,
even
I'm
got from
scared.
some other misguided
I'm
man.
scared.
The worst piece of advice, and
I
I
wanna
tell all
hear
my
now.
young brothers and men not to do this, is to sleep with every woman you can.
What? Who the heck?
What?
Well, wait. Before we even find
Who's
out who
that?
told you
Nick Cannon?
that. She said, was it Nick Cannon? You leave my Cannon brother alone. Shout out to Nick Cannon. We Cannons over here.
Okay.
I like Nick though.
I mean, it wasn't.
Who said that?
It wasn't just one. It was like a plethora of men, and it wasn't those words verbatim. It was more so of just being a man in a society of men. You the man if you sleep with a lot of women.
Oh, so he gave you. You did say it was misguided advice.
It's misguided advice
Because he know
we don't.
what is
That's what that
what
is.
you were profit with sleeping with a lot of
That is
women?
why I said it's misguided advice, because a lot of, like I said, but it comes down to the dynamic, as little boys aren't taught that their bodies are temples. Little girls are. Little boys aren't. That's why little girls are embarrassed if they sleep with a certain high number of men, and men, they flaunt it. Because men are not taught at little boys that your body's a temple.
Exactly.
Don't give it to every woman.
Right.
Because you get diseases too. You get soul ties and so on and so forth. So that was some of the most.
And you catch those diseases spiritually and physically.
Exactly. So that was
Yes.
That's the part that people
That
don't
part.
understand. You don't
That
ever
part.
have STD as a sexually transmitted disease, but you also get a spiritually transmitted disease.
You do.
Shout out to Steve Braggs.
There's a lot of semen demons. Semen
Not
demons.
semen demons.
Semen
Yeah,
demons.
man. Shout out to $1 million worth of game. A lot of semen demons.
All right, Auntie, what's the worst piece of advice?
I guess because I half of them I don't even listen to. I'm like, that's just stupid.
I mean, you still heard it. So something you heard.
Well, what's the best piece of advice that somebody thought that they were giving you? Sound advice, but it was the worst piece of advice when you grew up in life. You realized.
So you gotta be careful because if your life is not in order, I really probably mentally fired you. I mean, I'm not gonna be disrespectful because I'm gonna listen, but if your life is not in order, you really can't give me too much advice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some people feel I've had this advice. Well, just speak how you feel. Just say how you feel, and that's not always appropriate. You got to have a filter. You got to have a filter. So somebody might ask me a question, and again, like I said, I'm being intentional with my words. So I might pause and think and say, well, I don't.
That's okay.
Give me a moment. We
need to do that.
Right. And they're like, now, tell me how you feel. Tell me the truth. You don't really want to know that. So the worst piece of advice is for somebody to just tell you, speak how you feel. Because my flesh don't always want to do
It's
the
like,
right
and
thing.
I don't really want to tell you that. And you really don't want to know that. Trying to save both of us here.
Not so much. Exactly. And more
learned to do
so
that
of
myself.
how to say it. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's the delivery. The message can be the same, but the delivery and the approach. But that whole, I got a chip on my shoulder, so I need to talk to her. I need to tell. No, you don't.
And
really,
I think that comes with
cares.
Our ability to. I think that. Tell me how you feel. I get that, but I think that stopping and having that moment of thinking about how to react, respond, opposed to react to the person that actually giving you all of that attitude and want to know, comes from our ability that we supposed to communicate in order to understand and to actually help, not to be offensive or sarcastic or cause harm. But we're so used to derogatory language and communication that they expect you to come back with the comeback.
Just thought of it.
You know what I mean? And then not only did my words hurt you, but they hurt me too, because I didn't walk away from that conversation feeling good.
Facts.
Yeah.
Right.
I just thought of another worst advice.
What?
This is by far the worst advice I've ever heard.
Worse than the first one?
Yeah. Because I feel like this is one of the biggest things that plagued the black community.
What?
Pray to God, He'll take care of it.
Oh.
Yeah. Like you got problems, just pray to God, and He'll handle it.
Yeah. They didn't give you the rest of the sentence.
Exactly.
They didn't complete the sentence.
Exactly. So many people dealing with problems and strives.
Because prayer without works is
Mine
nothing.
was along those lines, but
Yeah, exactly.
they didn't give you the
exactly. So,
or that prayer will fix all of your problems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's
right.
You just got to pray and sit back and wait for God to not make your house no longer be on foreclosure and everything else. Like
it don't go like
He's
that.
He's not a genie.
That's not
it
exactly
don't go like that.
He gives you the ability to fish, not give you fish.
Right.
So
Come on now, Kev. That was good.
So,
yeah.
Sure.
Mine's right. That's true.
That's by far the worst for me.
Yeah. I don't want to say mine.
So what's yours, Salima?
So serious.
Come on now.
It's an incomplete sentence too, and I think it's totally situational. But I think the worst piece of advice for me was to listen to my parents.
If that's the case, the whole saying of your parents is always right is horrible. Is the worst saying.
I think it's situational. I think that was my worst piece of advice, though. I think they left a whole bunch of stuff out. So I believe that they have the best for you, but the rest of it, I think it was
their best intentions. Their intentions might have been in the right place, but
right. Well, when the person, I think that we assume when a child is maybe complaining about their parent or speaking to their parent, I think as human beings, we assume that we perceive parenthood the way everybody else did. So everybody has parents like our parents until we see the other side. So I think that we think with the intentions that I heard some horror stories of parents, like horror stories. So if you telling the child to listen to their parents and you don't know what horror the parents is bringing the child, yeah, it kind of contradicts that whole message.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah. Next question. What's the best compliment you ever received? Best compliment. Oh gosh, I don't want to hear Kevin's. What's the best compliment?
Oh my gosh.
Oh damn! I just know what it is.
That smile was not authentic. That was a devious type of.
Is that in connection
Stroke
with
my
that worst?
ego.
With the worst?
Yeah, it was that
that
stroke
the
my
one with the
ego
worst?
kind of. I ain't ready for that.
Oh, that's funny.
Best piece of
My
advice.
best piece of advice or compliment?
Oh yeah, compliment.
Someone told me, and it was actually a guy, so I was kind of surprised. But he told me that I was a phenomenal woman. That he saw me interacting on some project or something, and he just thought that I was a phenomenal woman.
Nice. You are phenomenal.
That's nice. Thank you, fam.
Best piece of. I keep saying advice. I need advice. Huh?
Best
That's a compliment. Besides, you're tall, dark, and handsome.
Go ahead, say it.
No, that is one of the ones that came to
You
my
ain't the only
head,
one. I can
so.
tell you
I
that.
told
now.
you.
I can
I
tell you.
told you.
Listen, I wasn't going to say that. It's just one of the ones that came to my head. I appreciate that the women appreciate how I look. But now I got two. I can say two. I got the first one I got, and this may tie into that, but I think it speaks volume based on what it was. I had more than one actually. But I remember the first time I heard it, I used to work with this older guy, and I was probably like 21, 22. You know, we all, like I said, I always gravitate toward older men. We always talk, and he told me out of his own mouth, I was on my listen. He's like, I will want you to date my daughter.
Oh, I didn't know. I remember that.
And I just thought that was just for a man to want like another man to date. That's his daughter. And I done had multiple men tell me that. So I think that just speaks to it. That's the way of telling me that they just think I'm a decent young boy. Like I don't know too many men who will see a man be like,
you make enough money and they want to get rid of their daughter.
Could be that too.
I'm joking.
Could be that too. And then the other one is still from a man, and he told me that I was he told me that I was wise beyond my years, and everything I need I already have. That was like a great comment for me. And she made me tear up. So yeah. Well, shout out to him.
Shout out to him. What's the next one?
What was the best compliment you ever got?
So not used to including myself. The best piece of compliment that I got for me is so not visual. Not Kevin.
Mine wasn't visual either.
The best piece of advice that I got from me was I have the power to create change. So that was somebody that made me believe in myself, that I had the power and ability to create change. That was the best piece for me. Maybe something you wish you can do better.
Ooh.
What you wish you were better at or could do better?
We can use that.
have two.
I wish I had better discipline.
I like that.
I feel like my discipline is decent because I haven't done a lot of things that I could have done, but it also can be a whole lot better because I haven't done a lot of things that I should have done.
Okay.
So my discipline.
Auntie E.
I actually have two.
Okay.
One is time management,
Okay.
and the other is finances. I want to do better with my finances.
Oh yeah. I'm still those two from Auntie E for me. Finance, well, and time as well. Yes. All right. One more question. If you can ask God, whatever we call him, Allah, Jesus, it's like, no, I'm joking. Whatever that is, to grant you one wish, what would that be? One thing.
Ooh.
I know, right? Just one. Just one. Come on, God, please.
Ooh. Can I
Let me
see
think
the
too.
demons unmask?
Oh, can you see the demons unmasked? Wow,
I
that's
see 'em?
that's what it would
Really?
be.
Yeah. I want to see them unmask.
You need God to help you do that. Ooh.
Well, what you got?
Yeah, before they even open their mouth and say hi.
If I can ask God to grant me one wish, what would that be?
Peace on earth.
No, that won't happen. How about that?
No, as long as they're humans.
We have to do that for sure. That's definitely our job. I think, yeah. If I can ask God to grant me one wish. That, for me, I guess that would be based around something I believe I have no control over based off of the knowledge that I have now. And that would be time. If he can grant me time to live a long enough life to, be able to learn as much as I need to do on this journey of growing to impact my family and my grandchildren with the skills and ability to be impactful in this world, to be on the good side of energy in this world, I would be okay with that. So I guess mine would be enough time.
I have so many, but to pick one, and the one that just keep reoccurring in my mind is I would ask God for the ability to access 100% of my brain.
100% of your brain? It wouldn't need your body then.
I would ask God to be able to access 100% of my brain.
Finish that sentence in your complete body as a human being?
Yeah.
Oh, then say that. Because without that, I mean, based off of the knowledge that I have, that if you had access to 100%, I mean, you would be just spirit. You couldn't contain the human form.
Well, I would want to keep my human form. Yeah, like the wish about to get answered. But
What you-
I mean, like, damn, he's not in front of me saying, ask my child.
I did just act like we was going to get those.
but, yes, I
Right.
want to access it in my human form.
You actually do use all 100% of your brain.
Stop
Wait,
analyzing.
at once.
say it again, Evan.
You do use all 100% of your brain.
But it's not at
You
once.
just don't use it all at once.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
well, I
then-
knew that. I
so-
knew that, but I want to be able to use it all at once. We all do different parts of our brains for different functions.
Right, but I'm
But
saying,
I'm saying all at once.
that's what I meant.
That's what I
but
mean.
if we use it all at once, we wouldn't need our body, right?
Not necessarily. I mean, 'cause
Evan-
you're thinking the
Evan's
sense
a
of
philosopher.
being able to make things levitate and telekinesis and all that. But I'm just thinking in the sense of to shoot-
Superhuman power.
I don't want the strip. I just want the knowledge, just to be able to. I don't know, just to.
Well,
I don't
it's
know.
not the knowledge, because who said that? Damn, I don't want to quote it wrong, but I think it was Albert Einstein. It said it's not knowledge that we should wish for; it's intelligence.
Agreed, but I don't know. I want to be able to use 100% of my brain
To do what?
at one time. Do everything that I
Because
want to.
do you understand what I'm saying? Because to say that without intentions of knowing what you can do with it, because if it create a bomb, then do you still want to use it? Like,
Well,
what do you
I'ma
want to use it for?
For what I want to use it for.
Oh,
I
you
ain't
just
no
don't want to
evil-
share with
I ain't no
us what
evil
you want to
person.
use it for.
Oh no, I plan on using it to, believe it or not, to be impactful, to truly find what is peace, what is happiness, and to pass on that message to anybody who will listen.
I do have to say that was a powerful one to use more of our brain at one time to.
That's truly what I want to use it for, to be impactful, to find what is truly happiness.
I'm barring
and
that one in
peace,
my prayer.
and pass that on to not only just my kids and family, but to anybody who will listen. Because I truly want happiness for everybody.
Let me ask an evil question before I proceed really quick. You doing Ramadan this year?
I wasn't, no.
No? He's like, look. I fat. You are, Evan?
Yep.
High five.
Shout
Because
out,
no, I was
Evan.
going to say that is what Kevin just said. That's something you can fast and pray for in Ramadan
Oh, I'm gonna do that regardless.
to increase those brain
Okay.
waves.
No, I wasn't. I mean, I can.
Hey,
When does
let's
it
go.
start?
All fasting is
We could
good.
do it. You know me. I
And you know what? I got to send shout out to Rich Mo because this was today he ended his 4th
it's
time
April.
doing
Okay.
his water diet, and I seen the excess weight just drop. MJ just completed a day. I spoke to him this morning. I supposed to met him on Saturday to give him the rest of these pills to help him detox. But unfortunately, we wasn't able to meet, so we'll meet Wednesday. But he just completed his first 7 days, and I invited him on the show next week so he can give his experience. But from today, I said, well, starting tomorrow, he was like, oh, no, I don't think I'm going back to meat from there. I think I'm good. He was like, I'm going to stick right now.
Wow.
This week, he's just doing vegetables. And he said he's eating a grapefruit to date. He was like, I'm just doing that this week. So I told him Kevin was supposed to start because he said, did Kevin do it? I said, I don't think so. So we said we was going to make it a challenge.
I'm actually starting tomorrow.
And not start this week. I said, but I'll do it with them starting next week. So I'm going to put the challenge out there to even all of our viewers. If you want to do it with us, we're going to create a group and we're going to do 7 days water
I'm starting
challenge.
tomorrow.
And I can get some. Well, you might as well wait for us because this week you can prep and get your body together with putting the minerals and the right food and veggies in it so you're not fatigued and everything else. But I'm going to let him come on and share his experience of the benefits of him fasting for 7 days and the challenges. Rich Mo started, got him to do it one time. This is his 4th time is completing it. And I'm just excited for them because I know what it does as far as in clarity and the benefits of fasting. So we do fast. I was raised fasting, being Muslim, Ramadan, but the benefit of fasting with nothing but water for 7 days, no food at all, opens up your brain to a whole different level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
I did that when last month when I was in Atlanta, but it was 7 days juicing.
It was the juice fast, and I'm
but
familiar
no.
with the juice fast too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just that's something. And what it does for Rich Mo though, he has sleep apnea, those symptoms in a way, high blood pressure, diabetic, and MJ's diabetic. So when you see all of those levels decreasing, I think that makes you feel a whole lot better. Why would you go back?
Yeah, you feel lighter. You definitely
You
feel lighter.
Yeah. And then it lets you know what you're capable
I
of
didn't.
though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I got a question. I want to ask
So yeah,
a question of my
I
own.
can partake in Ramadan.
I had I wanted to ask this question when the whole panel was here, but
Well, you want to save it because I have something to hope.
No, I asked them again when they get here.
Nadia is such a brat. She asked us to go light the day until she was present.
Yeah, I mean, I asked them again when they get here. But
Okay.
Actually, no, I'll save it. I'll wait.
You sure?
Yeah, I'll save it.
As I'm going to save mine. Well, we're going to wrap it up. We want to thank everyone for tuning in. I truly appreciate your presence, and we welcome your comments, especially giving us and sharing with us advice and letting us know how we impact you guys. We hope we're doing our job. Monday next week at 6 p.m. Let's talk about it.
None of my people gon' walk. 100 bands for us, now she feeling.
See you on Eve, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday book club.
Wednesday, Thursday.
My gentleman ish. I'm putting
Okay,
up for my
Wednesday.